You know that feeling you get when you see a giant 70% off banner? Your heart skips a beat, maybe your mouse hand twitches, or you start planning how to battle the crowds. Next thing you know, you're clicking add to cart or standing in a line 200 people deep. It's that time again, Black Friday shopping season. But what if the best deal this year isn't something wrapped in flashy packaging, but instead your own peace of mind? Hello, friend, and welcome to Torches, Yoga, and Mindfulness. I'm Lauren, and I'll be your coach. If you're curious about mindfulness, healing, and practical habits that actually work, you're in the right place. Here, we focus on simple but powerful practices grounded in ancient wisdom and modern science to help care for both your mind and body. So go ahead, hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Today, we are taking a look at the psychology of shopping, especially during this high stimulus time of year. Back in August, we talked about mindful shopping and how to align our purchases with our values and long-term well-being. I'll link that video in the description below, so if you haven't checked it out, you can later. Right after this is fine. But I thought with Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, all right around the corner, I kind of wanted to revisit that conversation and expand on it. Specifically, to explore why shopping feels so satisfying, why that satisfaction fades so fast, and how mindfulness can help us shop with intention, not impulse on autopilot. Let's start with what's happening in our brains when we see that huge sale ad. When we see that little 40% off tag or only two left countdown, our dopamine system lights up like a Christmas tree. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter responsible for motivation, anticipation, and reward. It's the same one that spikes when we're about to eat something good, visit with somebody we love. The catch is, dopamine doesn't rise because of the purchase, just the anticipation of it. That what if moment, that thrill of scoring a deal, saving money, or finally treating ourselves, that's the hit our brain is chasing. It's the chase, not the catch, that fires up the reward system. The moment we actually buy the thing, the dopamine starts to drop. That's why the excitement fades quickly. You might even feel a little empty or anxious after a transaction, after the rush. That hollow feeling is our brain trying to recalibrate after the chemical high. The dark side of retail is that marketers know this, they study this, and they design their ad campaigns just for this effect. Everything from the countdown clock to the flash of color on a buy now button is all built to spike our dopamine and make our decision for us before our rational brain can even join the conversation. So the next time you feel that spark, that little rush of, "Ooh, I need this," try pausing just for a second. Take a slow, deep breath and name what is happening. Like, I am feeling anticipation for this purchase or sale. In that way, we aren't judging our feelings or suppressing the urge. We are simply witnessing it. That one mindful moment moves us from impulse mode to observer mode. And in that mode, we have the power of our choice back. Now, last month I shared a video about how we aren't our thoughts and how to live as the observer. I'll link that one below too if you haven't checked it out. And as your coach, that's your homework this week. So, like I said, big retailers, they know exactly how this works, and they spend millions of dollars designing experiences that trigger that anticipation response. Bright red buttons, countdown, limited time offers, all of it's intentional. Those visual and verbal cues activate our amygdala, the part of our brain responsible for sensing threat and urgency. So, when we see these marketing tactics, our brain acts as if our safety or our status is on the line. We don't see it and think, "Oh, that's clever advertising." We think, "I'm going to miss out and regret not taking advantage of this sale." And that fear of missing out, FOMO, is one of the most effective motivators in consumer psychology. Studies show that scarcity-based marketing can increase buying behavior by up to 50%. It's not because we actually need the product, but because our brain interprets things like limited time offer as threatened reward. When we take a mindful pause before a purchase, we can ask ourselves, Would I still want this at full price? If the answer is no, that's a clear sign it's not a need. It's just the scarcity effect doing its little magic trick. When we decide to buy something, maybe we determine a certain purchase is a need, or maybe this purchase is motivated by gift giving joy, something that we can share with the recipient. Either way, when we do make that decision to buy something, another little quirk in our brain kicks in. And that is called the paradox of choice. Psychologist Barry Schwartz found that the more options we have, the less satisfied we are with our final choice. You just can't win for losing. When you have 50 different sweater colors to choose from or 15 variations of the same air fryer, our brain goes into decision fatigue. And that post-purchase, that feeling sets in fast. And the decision fatigue doesn't just come from the mountain of options. We may also hesitate on a choice when we start to consider who we are giving our hard-earned money to. We've seen it a lot this year where we've been loyal to a brand only to be slapped in the face with a discriminatory ad or some random terrible company policy like American Eagle, Elf Cosmetics, Sephora, Mariah Carey. So this season, try pre-deciding what you're shopping for before you head out to the stores or to start scrolling through a website. Write out your list. That clarity filter turns the chaos of choices into a calm, intentional plan. Instead of hunting for dopamine, we're aligning our actions with purpose. So before you go camp out in front of Best Buy or battle the crowds at other big retailers with questionable ethics, consider this: Small Business Saturday. While the big box stores are turning up the volume with flashing lights and endless deals, loud ads, small local businesses are doing something quieter, something more genuine, and inviting connection instead of just consumption. When we shop local, we're not just exchanging money for goods, we're participating in a relationship. Studies even show that for every dollar spent at a locally owned business, about 68 cents stays in the community, opposed to 43 cents when you shop at a national chain. So that 25-cent difference is called the local multiplier effect, and it ripples outward. It supports local wages and services, keeps your favorite cafes or boutiques alive. Spending locally supports our neighbors and their families, and shopping small shifts us from consuming to connecting. Especially when I am gift shopping, my favorite thing to do, instead of buying the latest gadget or the next trendy thing or defaulting to a candle or sweater, I love giving people I care about experiences they'll enjoy. Maybe it's a movie or concert tickets. Researchers at Cornell University found that experiences bring more lasting happiness than material possessions because experiences integrate into who we are. That concert, a cozy dinner, a yoga class, or a local activity available become a part of our story. We replay them in memory, share pictures with friends and family, whereas the material gifts give the same dopamine spike, but it fades fast once the item is received. Experiences grow more valuable with time. So maybe this Black Friday, instead of grabbing more things, you choose a few experiences that nourish joy, connection, and memory. Our mindfulness practices help us stay grounded in real time so that we don't fall into the marketing traps. So, practice number one, you probably know what I'm going to say. Let's take a mindful breath. If you said gratitude, you're not wrong. We'll go with that too. But our 3-breath reset is perfect for these shopping scenarios. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. With the first breath, we're going to acknowledge our desire. I want this. Second breath, we're going to notice the emotion underneath it. I feel excited about this, or I feel stressed, and this will make me feel better. Or maybe I feel a little left out. And on the third breath, gently ask, what do I actually need right now? Maybe you need rest, nourishment, connection. And sometimes, yeah, maybe you need new shoes or a new fit, or that eyeshadow palette. The point isn't to deny ourselves joy, it's to bring clarity to the moment. And that's what mindfulness does. It hands us the reins back. I think we forget a lot that mindful spending isn't about restriction, it's about alignment. A study in the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that people who practice intentional spending, not forced restraint, but genuine awareness, actually report higher satisfaction in life. And it's not because they are pinching every penny, it's because shopping mindfully nurtures us and helps us to rebuild self trust. When we don't act on the marketing gimmicks or shop impulsively, we start to see ourselves as more capable, confident, and in charge of our own well being. We learn that we don't have to fight our impulses, we can just step back with a simple breath and see them more clearly. And with a little self compassion. Another way we can mindfully approach Black Friday and Cyber Monday is to prioritize quality over quantity. Instead of filling your cart with cheap items that may wear out quickly, consider investing in higher quality items that are built to last. By focusing on quality, we're also reducing waste since we're less likely to be replacing those items frequently. Which kind of takes me to my next point of ethical and sustainable products. This also helps avoid decision fatigue. If we have 100 different options, we can usually nix about half of them by choosing a company or narrowing it down to companies that are aligned with our own values. When we stop to consider that every purchase isn't just a transaction, but a reflection of our values, we take back not just our own power, but the power of our dollar. There's a saying that every dollar you spend is a vote for the world you want. And it is so very true. We only vote on a ballot every so often, but each day we make transactions that can impact our world just as greatly as a trip to the polls. When we choose to buy local or support an artisan providing handmade products, we're not just buying an item, we're reinforcing the kind of economy and community we want to see thrive. Friend, as we head into the holiday shopping season, remember the real gift isn't 40% off, it's your awareness. If you're hitting the sales, take your mindfulness with you. Pause, breathe, and ask, does this support who I want to be or who an algorithm wants me to be? Remember to check out the other mindful shopping video I have linked in the description, friend. Thank you so much for sharing a piece of your day with me. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, and I will see you soon.